heard now that the House has just finished its secret ballot, and Steve Scalise of Louisiana has won. Looks like he is now the favorite to be the next Speaker of the GOP House to replace Kevin McCarthy, who was ousted last week. Tony Perkins joins us now. He's the president of Family Research Council to discuss this breaking news. Tony, welcome in.
Thanks, Bianca. Good to be with you.
I know you're pretty happy with this breaking news as far as Steve Scalise, from what I hear. You think he's the best choice?
Well, pleasantly surprised. I didn't think they would get to a decision this quickly. Of course, it does have to go to the floor. It's not over yet. Well, Steve and I were elected at the same time in Louisiana. We served in the Louisiana House together. Steve is a hard worker. I think he's best positioned for this from the standpoint he served as whip. So he has a good team around him to kind of move things forward. He's proven that. He will hit the ground running. And given the circumstances we face, and I think this is the gravity that settled upon the Republicans, is they knew that they didn't have much time to get to work. Steve has the infrastructure in place and can be working as soon as the House has the vote.
There was some talk about his health and concerns about Steve Scalise's health, battling blood cancer. He had said he's, in recovery. He's doing great, which thank God he is. But there were some people behind the scenes who maybe publicly didn't say it last week, Tony, but were concerned. Do you think that has completely gone away, or do you think it's just the fact that now we have a war in Israel and they do not want to draw this out or delay it? Because there was some reports last week that they wouldn't be able to come to some type of consensus possibly for weeks.
Well, that was kind of the thinking of the members. I spoke to several members over the weekend. In fact, spoke to Steve several times. And his health is doing well. He's responding well to the treatments. But here's something about Steve. Steve is a fighter. He has shown that time and time again. But his doctors, I talked to him about. He's a friend. And my concern when he decided to run for this was his health. I had that conversation with him, prayed with him about it. And his doctors said that his body is responding well to the treatment. He feels like he's up to it. His doctors said that they believe he's up to it. And so I hope the House follows through on the floor and select him as a speaker. I think he'll be a great speaker.
Well, we know how tough he is. I mean, shot during the congressional baseball game practice and just really, just so strong. And I do want to get your reaction to some of the names being floated for majority leader, Tony. Tom Emmer, Kevin Hern are some of the names. Do you have a preference on who do you think they should go with? What might be best for the GOP?
Well, I think people are looking for change. I think Kevin Hern is one of those individuals. He's a businessman, very successful businessman from Oklahoma, and new to politics. And so he doesn't, he doesn't play the political game, although he's been able to navigate it quite well. He brings a different viewpoint, and he's well respected as the chairman of the Republican Study Committee. I think he would be a great addition to the leadership team.
Last question, Tony, not to put you on the spot here, but this all was sort of started by Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, and now we're about a week away from it. How are you think that this was, what's your reaction to how this has all unfolded and the domino that fell by what he did?
Well, look, I know a lot of folks, a lot of members were not happy with the direction. I think Kevin McCarthy was doing the best he could with what he had to work with. I think the timing of what happened last week could not have been worse. I'm grateful if the House is coming together. The Republicans were coming together right now to select a leader. We're pleasantly surprised. We didn't think they would get there this quick. But given the gravity of the situation globally, it's good to move forward. I'm hopeful that we'll be at a place where we can provide the leadership needed under Speaker Scalise.
Certainly looks like it is moving forward, and today a scheduled vote we're hearing at 3 o'clock. Tony Perkins, thanks for being with us. Really appreciate it today.
All right, Bianca, good to be with you.
Thank you, sir.